Bryan Fischer thinks discrimination is awesome. At least it's the kind of discrimination against gay people.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to understand, this maybe is the place to begin. Not all kinds of discrimination are bad. Some forms of discrimination against sexually immoral behavior is good. I'm not talking about discrimination against people here, not even talking about discrimination against people based on their sexual orientation. It's based on their behavior. We discriminate against sexually immoral behavior. It's not against the person, because unless they act out on it, unless they do something, unless they commit an immoral act, they're not properly the subject of these kind of policies. But if they engage in that kind of behavior, then it's appropriate that be a subject or a matter for discrimination of the good kind.
But it's not against people, really. Well, I would ask any gay person if they feel like they've been discriminated against. I guarantee that it would differ from what Bryan Fischer is saying. But then again, he's saying, of course, that, well, yeah, but those people, they're acting upon it. Acting upon how they actually are, instead of shoving themselves so deep into a closet that they find out where Bryan Fischer is hiding his dresses. Speculation, but nonetheless. No, they should not act on it, because obviously, as the right wing tends to maintain, being gay is a choice. And acting on those impulses that he assumes that we all have, a little bit of a note here, Bryan Fischer. No, we all don't have those impulses to do that kind of, in your words, immoral behavior. Which, by the way, isn't it funny? He's like, no, we're not going to discriminate against you unless you do something that I find icky. If I don't like it, I have the right to discriminate against you. Really? Not according to the Constitution. You see, we have this whole thing called the Equal Protection Clause, the 14th Amendment. The fact that we all have to treat each other equally. We all have the same rights under the law as everybody else. That means I have the same rights as you, Brian. That means gay people have the same rights as you, Brian. They should have the same right to get married. They should have the same right to do what they wish, as long as it doesn't harm another person. And even though that might make you feel a little icky, or what we're assuming is that you don't feel icky, is that you want to act on those impulses that you supposedly have. And that's why, and of course, your God says you shouldn't do that. So that's why you want to prevent everybody else from doing that. I know, just speculation, but I'm starting to think that you think about gay sex and you think about this quote-unquote immoral act more than the people who actually perpetrate said immoral act. And that seems a little fishy to me. You shouldn't be able to discriminate against people that you don't agree with for doing something that affects you in no way whatsoever.